Ragtime is a 1981 film directed by Milos Forman. It's written by Michael Weller and Bo Goldman, based on Ragtime by Dino De Laurentiis. And we have a cast including James Cagney, Brad Dourif, Mary Steenburgen, Howard E. Rollins Jr. The performances are brilliant. The characters are very well written. I think there are some important messages in the film. But at 2.5 hours, this really was tremendously dull. There were scenes, I'd say I'm guessing, I'm plucking this number out of nowhere, but I'd say every 10-15 minutes there were 1 or 2 scenes that were really great, and then it would slow back down again. And if this had been an hour and a half, an hour and 40, it would have been a much better experience. We have a lot of messages about racial tension here surrounding the character of Coalhouse Walker, and that part of it I think is done very well. I think it's very emotional. I think the performance there is brilliant. We have a lot of uncomfortable attitudes that I think are very well portrayed. But we have so much fluff and padding around it, and if they just stripped things back and really focused on that a bit more, it would have been a heavier film, but I think it would have been a lot more powerful. I didn't really care about the rest of the narrative. Visually, though, it's quite good. It's set at the turn of the 20th century, and I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but it looks decent. We have some good costumes. The music's really good in it. So there were some aspects that I thought were done really, really well. And the racial aspect, not that I'm an expert by any means, but from my perspective, I thought it was well handled. It was definitely quite emotional, definitely something that I thought worked really well. But there's just so much padding, and I didn't care for pretty much everything else that was in it. Yes, the characters were well written, but not enough to save the scenes where the narrative itself was really slow. Now, I say all of this. It has 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb across 11,000 reviews and ratings. It was nominated for 8 Oscars. Not that that necessarily is a sign of quality, because some films that are nominated for Oscars I don't always agree with, but certainly I don't think it's the worst. I mean, it depends on what the other films were at the time, but I definitely don't think it's that amazing. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, certainly with the story and the pacing, but the good bits were very, very good. Also, I didn't mention John Ratzenberger's in it. Very briefly, he plays a police officer, and it's because of Ratzenberger that I wanted to watch this. Am I glad I had a reason to watch it? I don't know. I think, as I said, the good bits are very good, and I did take away some things from those moments, but everything else is very slow. And maybe everything else is okay in quality, but because there's so much of it, it just is a really tedious experience. It has no business being 2.5 hours at all. So I didn't love it, but I do think the good bits are really powerful and important and very moving and worth watching. But the film as a whole, I don't recommend. But obviously, to keep up with the narrative, I recommend watching the whole film if you are going to watch it. So it's a difficult one. I don't know if I recommend it. I think there's some value in a lot of it. Well, not a lot of it. A decent chunk of it. But at the same time, the film needed a lot of work to be a decent experience. So check it out if you're interested. If you're curious, if it might be for you, give it a watch. You might enjoy it more than I did. But personally, while I think the good bits were very good, the rest of it, and unfortunately the largest part of it, was kind of slow, tedious, some decent character writing, but not enough to save the film. Good performances, visually quite appealing, really good music. I guess I can sum up by saying it's a pretty average film, but the good bits are definitely better than average. Ragtime needs a lot of work to be a great film, but it had potential, and ultimately, I didn't hate the experience.